Good morning, everybody. It's Truth Serum, and we're back. I had trouble getting on. I have a lot of copyright issues and everything else. And to start off with, I could only do the play-by-play. I can't turn the camera to the TV to watch Yannick Sinner, but I'll do a live play-by-play. Whoever I get in here, I get in here. They're making it real tough for me because I've been on this Brittney Griner rampage, which was what got me fired off of YouTube the first time. So I'll just see who I could get in here, and that's that. The to update that WNBA bum commissioner, that Engelbert, who's under investigation now from the NBA and Stern, and they're going to figure out what that was really going on when they were intentionally going after Caitlin Clark and more or less letting the refs promote suggesting that the refs look the other way for these hard flagrant foul calls, and it's just like wink wink, there won't be any fines. But it all got unraveled, and after that, Brittney Griner, it's a dude, Brittney Griner. Go back, look at my videos, you'll see a shirtless Brett Griner. And so that Engelbert, that bum from the WNBA, which has been not, it hasn't made a profit since its inception, and they just try to turn it into this ghettoized, racist, and all the black girls, not all, but the Angel Reese and those other ones, they're all jealous because she's getting endorsements and she's a great player. She just went off the other day and had like 30 against the Liberty, and she's the only thing that could save the WNBA. And that commissioner, that white commissioner that was in bed with all the refs and all the players to target Caitlin Clark. So that's just like saying when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird came into the league, that's just like saying we don't want them in the league. Superstars that can elevate this product to the top. So that's what you're dealing with that WNBA, that subculture of racism and hatred and everything else. And then Britt Griner, that bum, um, what they won't even address any type of gender testing. So is this just an example of this DEI woke rainbow that the Engelbert, who just got fired, the WNBA bum commissioner that she is, that she just looked the other way and never says, well, we gotta take a hormone test and blood test and a gender test for this Brittney Griner. So all this stuff is just they play by their own rules. It's all woke, rainbow garbage. That's why they haven't realized the profit. The only thing that could save them is Caitlin Clark. And the only viewership they get is when Caitlin Clark is on TV. Other than that, it's crickets. Hey, Michael K. So Madison Keys is right now. Madison Keys, the American, is up against Vandrasova, who won last year, whatever this tournament is, but she's coming off of injuries, and Madison Keys is trying to stay alive. So we have that, Mike. I had a hard time getting on here. I'm under a microscope. They're watching everything. My little channel, they want to censor me and everything else. What do I say? Well, I was right about Britt Griner way back, which got me shadow banned and censored on this YouTube because they're communists. Because at this point in time, oh, Joe, don't say that. They'll bar you. I don't care anymore. They're Chinese bums, the moderators, monitoring everything I say. And for what? Little old me. It's a compliment if you bar me again. It's a compliment. You already got me shadow banned. I'm not even on the algorithm. So I'm going to get it in while I can. You see, my channel's called The Truth Serum. I told a lot of mafia gangster stories. Tried to awaken people, wake people up, realize, to inspire thinking, instead of being robots from media and censorship, to try to inspire thinking. Think for yourself. Don't be the sheep that are led to the slaughter. So all you've been getting from network TV and censorship on social media and print media is this lingering censorship, this hangover from the Biden administration, and it's they're still at work. They're still at work. So there you have it. The bum NBA WNBA commissioner. So now, and were the refs being bribed? Were the refs being bribed? Well, they got the memos and they did it. There was a whistleblower ref. There's a whistleblower ref in the WNBA that remains anonymous, but they have an idea who it was. And then when they did the investigation, the whistleblower ref in the WNBA was more or less told, look the other way. Look the other way. When Caitlin Clark is playing, look the other way. Let her get thrown around all over the court, get fouled and everything else, and then they call the game one way. What's up, the New York Jets 15? So, and now over here, well, I got copyright infringed last time, but I'll just do the play-by-play. Yannick Sinner's playing a nobody, but I just wanted to do put something down here. Talk about that scumbag Brittney Griner and that Commissioner Engelbert that just got dismissed, just got fired, hit the brakes. You're ruining your product, the WNBA, and the only thing that can save it or resurrect it is Caitlin Clark, if she's even able to do that. Because the viewership, the WNBA, the viewership. So if you had to take a survey or a poll, you'd say, well, who are some of the players in the WNBA? Well, you'd know that scumbag, Aja Wilson, that scum. And how did she get sportswoman of the year 3 years in a row from, well, BET, the Black Entertainment Channel? They're the ones that decide on the awards. Now, even like, Simone Biles, the Olympic champion, the black girl, the great gymnast. There's so many other candidates. How did that scumbag, racist, Asia, whatever, the hater with the eyelashes and all that, the one that's been throwing Caitlin, how'd she get sportswoman 3 years in a row? Well, BET, Black Entertainment, votes on it. Their mother company is Viacom, and Viacom is one of the biggest communications networks with the globalists. See, then you connect the dots. Now they're the globalists. They're the woke bums. They're all that ghetto woke rainbow. So they're trying to perpetrate that through the WNBA. Hey, Deb. So they're trying to perpetrate that rainbow and all that ugly bullcrap through the WNBA. How come, being Viacom, nobody's even uttered a word about the gender of Brittney Griner? All these sports shows from A to Z everywhere. How come? Well, on social media, on YouTube, you see everything else. Brittney Griner is a man. Brittney Griner is a man. You see thousands of channels reporting it. How come on network TV, ESPN, all this and that, you don't see anybody reporting that? Because they're rainbowed out. The Disney owns them. Disney, that perverted mother corporation, and these super powered communication owners globalists try to put products out there that are just sketched out, just completely sketched out. The Sinner match started. The Sinner match started. He's playing some guy ranked 300, and he's just going to make what an epic battle between Sinner and Alcaraz at Roland Garros. Sinner was up 2 sets to love. He had a break point, love 40 in the third set, and then melted down. Still had chances to win. But Carlito, he's very tough. And Sinner was coming off of that suspension, that bogus suspension that they had Sinner on. See, they run these high commissioners and these international sports commissioners, just like the Olympic Committee that turned the Olympics into a woke, perverted, whatever you call that. So they have these perverts in these high international positions that govern most of these sporting events. And I at least give Stern, who's the NBA commissioner, a little credit because the NBA runs the WNBA, and he finally, that alien-looking bum finally had to say this commissioner has to go because they're targeting Caitlin Clark, and she's the only thing that can save the WNBA, which they're never going to turn a profit. The WNBA is never going to turn a profit. The only time anybody is interested in the WNBA is when Caitlin Clark is playing. Other than that, we can't even name the other teams. We can't name the other players on the other teams, let alone name the other teams what their names are. And then you put Brittney Griner, this bum, this dude that's infiltrated the WNBA under false pretenses, won't even get a DNA gender test, running around on swimming pools shirtless, showing that it's a dude, but they have it all one way. They have it all one way. A rainbow perverted Democrat liberal shit show. So Sinner just won the first game. Now Hannah Fan is serving. Hannah Fan serving. See what happens. See if Sinner still got any hangover, but we'll see what happens. Osaka got beat earlier in the women's tournament by Samsonova. Osaka, that Chinese, half black racist. So I'm always happy when Osaka goes down. Excuse me. Too much coffee. That Chinese racist, they've been slapping her all over the court. She can't win a small tournament. The karma always comes back on them bums. The karma always comes back. Look at this later. Sinner's gonna break this guy's serve. The odds on this match, that if you want to gamble on this match, you'd have to, if you wanted to bet Yannick Sinner, you'd have to put up $10,000 to win 100. You'd have to put up 10,000 to win 100. Who'd risk that? Well, some people just say that's even money. The millionaires just say, well, that's easy money to make 1% or 0.1% on your money. And all of a sudden there's an upset. Or what if the guy turns an ankle and retires? Now I've seen that happen. I've been watching tennis, paying attention to tennis. I've seen that happen when I call these gamblers bridge jumpers. They'll bet so much money to get a real small percentage of a return on their money. And then in sports, in man-to-man sports, it looks like easy money, but in tennis, so you bet all this money on a guy, and then all of a sudden he's winning, he's tearing the other guy apart, and then all of a sudden he twists his ankle. He has to retire. You lose. It'll take a lot of bets to make up that money that you just blew. So you got to be careful. It's better to find good live underdogs. You're going to gamble on tennis. Pay attention to tennis. It's better to find good leverage bets on underdogs. Take your shot there. You can lose 4 of them in a row and just win 1 and get even and still maybe make a profit if you're betting parlays. Hannafan's trying to save his serve. Hanfman, big, tall, good-looking tennis player from wherever he's from. I think he got in being the lucky loser. Hey, James Rockford, join the party. I think I got one in here. Me, you, and the moderator. Yeah. Yeah, you see the shows? Thanks, James Rockford. Well, my first video got 500 views, and then YouTube didn't like it. And then I did another video about Brittney Griner and the WNBA, and they didn't even put it on the algorithm. Why are they paying attention to little old me? Little old me. Why? What they so worried about me, Mr. Rockford, and the Rockford Files? Well, Hanfman's serving, and it's deuce. Sinner's going to let this guy win a game. First set, Sinner's up 1-love. I'll tell you one thing. This no-name Hanfman, he's got a big serve. He's got a big serve. He's serving. He's got the advantage. He's got the ad in his service game, and he might tie it up 1-1. Hey, if he could keep pace with him, you never know. You never know. He's got a big serve, and these grass courts are very tricky. You got hard court experts. Now Hanfman just protected his serve. It's 1-1. You got these hard court experts. You got the clay court experts, and you got the grass court experts. Some of these elite players can play them all at a very high level, but some are just specialists, no-namers that you don't even realize what's going on. Boom, boom, So they're both on serve. Yannick serving 1-1, and we'll just see how long that this Hanfman can keep up with Sinner, who's coming off that heartbreak choke. And he's my favorite, Yannick Sinner. He's got a cannon, so we'll see how long they could hold serves. It's 1-1. Yannick's on serve. I don't even know where this Hanfman is from. He's ranked like 200, but he held serve. Sinner with a cannon. Big volley. Hanfman just come back with a big return. 15-15, tied 1-1. First set. Sinner coming with a cannonball. Let's see how. I got to give this kid credit on the big stage. Playing world number 1, number 2. Big, strong, athletic dude, this Hanfman. Yannick, fault, first serve. This is Howard Cosell. We're at the high-low Auckland. Yeah, the grass court is kind of tricky. Grass court's tricky. But when I did the French Open, I got copyright infringed because I was showing it on TV, and I had 10,000 people in the chat, my record. But I'll just do the play-by-play. Is that legal? Are they going to come with all that bullshit? Yannick serving 30-15. Fault. Second serve. Yannick, second serve. 30-15. Hanfman, big return. Try to drop shot. Didn't work. Sinner 40-15. Well, Sinner will win this game, go up 2-1. We'll just see how long this Hanfman can keep pace with him. That's all. We'll just see. The guy is ranked like 200, but he's not embarrassing himself, at least. Here comes Yannick with this cannonball serve, this choke artist, Yannick Sinner, who choked against Alcaraz in the finals. Of course, you all saw it. He choked up 2 sets. Best of 3. Best of 5. Choked. 3 match points. Yeah. What's up, Chester the Cheese Man? I talked about Brittney Griner. I'm doing the play-by-play. Yannick Sinner against this Hanfman. 1-1. First set. Sinner serving 40-30. Comes with a rocket. Boom. Ace. 2-1. Yannick Sinner. And we'll just see if this kid, this Hanfman, can keep pace with him. He's got a pretty good service game from what I've seen so far. From what I've seen so far, he's got a big service game. Madison Keys is in a second set tiebreak with Vandrousova, which Vandrousova won the first set 7-5 against Madison Keys from America. And now in the tiebreak, Vandrousova's got match point 6-5, second set tiebreak. Madison Keys needs a big serve to keep this tiebreaker going, trailing 1-0. Match point, Vandrousova. Madison Keys with the serve, trying to stay alive, try to get it. Big serve, big volley. Madison Keys stays alive. Yeah, long time no see. Yeah, it is what it is. Are you gay or something, Cheese Man? Are you gay or what? Are you a rainbow flamed out fag or something? You know about them cheese men. Why do you think they call it cheese? Don't be a rainbow fag, Chester. 6-6, second set. Tie break. Madison Keys serving. She's going up. She got that. Oh, that was a fault. Second serve. 6-6. Tie break. She a choke artist, this Madison Keys? Vandrousova serving for the match. Up 7-6 in the second set tie break. Up 1-0. Chester, you look like some serial killer pedophile. Wow. Check his papers. That's it. Madison Keys, all done. Let's get back to Sinner and Hanfman. Madison Keys, she's a choke artist. Just like Jessica Pegula, choke artist. We got anybody left in here? Oh, you get these keyboard warriors in here. You get these wimpy fags that they come in. If you saw them in the streets, they wouldn't look your way. Hey, Deb. I don't know if they should go back to Sinner and Hanfman, but we'll check it out. We'll stay in action. We'll stay in action. Just put something in, kill some time. We'll get it in. We'll get it in while we can. Well, the battery is full for now. We'll see what we can do. We got 5 viewers, so It's commercial break. Madison Keys just went down, and now we're gonna get back to and Hanfman and see if Hanfman can stay on serve. I could only give the commentary because I don't want to get freaking 5 copyright strikes and everything else. So against the channel, it's bad enough what they've done to my channel. So switching gears, the New York Jets. What is your take on Gene Gotti taking the helm of the Gambinos? Well, let me tell you something. The great New York Jets 15. What you see about anything mafia in New York City and all of that is half of it is fluff. Half of it is fluff. They don't need any rackets. Everything's legal now. Everything's legal. The most they can do is loan shark. You know. Yeah. Well, you know, the last thing you got to realize, these gangsters are dinosaurs now. They're old. That era is done. They've been in jail. They want to get back to their family. They're old men. They don't have many years left. But you got that Jeff Nadeau, that mongoloid scumbag. It's all propaganda gibberish just so they can have content on social media. That's all it is. You think these guys who've been under the microscope from the FBI for 40 years, you think they're going to get out? Yeah, some are just retarded and they just want to do crime and go back and do life in prison. Yes. But the thing is that most will value their freedom and just retire out. You know, the mafia is dead. Mike Franzese is over. Sam Gravano is over. John Alight is over. It's done. The guy from Philly, Joey Merlino, they're done. Dinosaurs. It's all just a hustle game. There's no more breath left in that mafia genre content. Excuse me. Views have diminished. John Gotti content is all played out. Sammy the Bull Gravano content is all played out, regurgitated, recycled. Mike Franzese and all that bull crap he was spewing. It's all regurgitated content. There's nothing new on YouTube mafia content. You got a reporter scumbag like Jeff Nadeau that tried to stir up trouble, tried to stir up soap opera stuff, and get in these conflicts with views against these retired gangsters just to create interesting content, and then pay them guys behind the scenes, pay them guys off the scene. So, hey, Sammy, here's some money, but let's go at it. Let's go at it on a live stream. Let's go at it, Sammy. And you're gonna blow up on me, and we're just gonna keep this soap opera going. It's a hustle game. It's played out. It's on its last leg. That's that. Even the guy, the other channel, he's been rising up. I can't even think. That's how much I care about, the other rat who I like, that's selling everything from A to Z. Who is it? The New York Jets. Who is that guy? Who's the guy, y'all? Who is it? I can't think of his name. He ratted. He was with that weirdo Mancuso and Barone. He was with the weirdos, those weirdo freaks. Who was that guy that was with them? What the hell was his name? They're all rats. All your YouTube channel mafia superstars, they are all rats. They all got immunity. They got a green light to hustle the viewers. Dom Chicali, thank you, Philly Bob. Dom Chicali. I like Dom. The mafia is the mafia and whatever. Oh, they took an oath, then they ratted. Well, yeah. Everybody could speak on that. That's cool. But I like Dom. He's all right. Because he reminds me, Dom. Now, I was around Mike Franzese for a little bit here or there, and um, pencil neck. But when I was around the mafia and them guys, and I liked a couple of the guys in the Colombo crew. I liked some of them guys, even though they were psychopaths. I liked some of them guys, and Dom Chicali reminds me of some of them guys. Dom Chicali reminds me of some of them guys. The only difference is these other guys went to jail for life or got killed, and Dom Chicali is still living. Mikey Picaretto. What's going on, Mike? I'm watching tennis. I'm just trying to do, I've been censored on here. I bought his crypto and I'm actually making money. Well, yeah. Where's Muggsy and Mikey? Dom is very, very business savvy. Dom Chicali. He's very, very business savvy. And, he's doing his thing. He's selling everything under the sun. I think he's selling a can opener that could actually start your car now. The guy's pretty good. Buy this can app, buy this survival knife. And by the way, it'll also start your car. So he's pretty cool. But he's trying to diversify his channel just not to be old mob stories. These mafia stories, they're just recycled and regurgitated. Just fill in different names for the stories. Just fill in the names for the different stories. Yeah. Joe, I think you'd get along. Yeah, it ain't that I like mafia guys. These are just guys with personalities, whether they're in the mafia or not. So Mikey Picaretto, Dom once bankrupted me in a card game and used the score to buy a Monte Carlo. Yeah, thanks for joining in, Mikey. But, we view these guys in this subculture as they're mafia guys, of course. So we just assume that they have a certain DNA to them. But I didn't look at the Colombo crew and them people as, well, I'm aware that they're part of organized crime, but I just looked at, we're going to the racetrack and I got to drive Robert. I got to drive Rick. I got to drive Tony. I'm not looking like I got to drive a mafia guy to lunch or to a whore or whatever. I don't look at it like that. I just look at the guy as a man to man, and that's his behavior. It's just his innate behavior. He was born with that behavior, and he happened to join the fraternity of the mob. But then you got to follow the mafia rules, which I broke them. Yeah. The world, Mikey Picaretto says the world was a much safer place when us mafia guys were still in place. Today's world is a mess. Well, Mikey, the political culture and social culture turned on its head when they got the perverted Democrats in office. Joe Biden, the rainbow, perverted out rainbow, everything. Yeah. Deb says, I remember way back when all those mafia men's wives used to try to hit on you because you were so good looking. Well, that's not a good thing, Deb, because I didn't participate in any of those reindeer games. These guys were crazy, and there's enough women, regular women out there to entertain than mafia girlfriends and wives. But we won't dive into that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm originally from Brooklyn, the old Caledonian Hospital. And my father's mother lived on FD. But I'm not familiar. I got brain damage now. I'm not familiar with the streets and all that geographical stuff. I've had a brain injury, in case you haven't noticed. You know, so, but you don't have to be an organized crime family. Now, Mikey, just say I'm a hustler. Just say I'm a hustler and I want to be a bookie. I want to be a bookie. All I got to do is get customers. I don't have to be affiliated with the Colombos or the Gambinos and pay up to these bums. The bosses of these crime families, half of them are in bed with the feds. So you got your 5 crime families down there working both sides of the fence. So you're going to go out and hustle, risk going to prison under RICO charges for what? The crime families in New York that are working both sides of the fence with the feds? Come on. Yeah. No, I didn't know him. I recognize that last name. I recognize the last name, but it wasn't Sonny. I think it was Jimmy. Yeah. I should write a book about my experiences someday. Well, I already did. I already wrote a book, Philly Bob. It's in the link is in the description. Spiritual and divine intervention with mafia stories. It's a good inspirational book. It's called They Dead Missed. It's on Amazon Books. Thanks for the plug, Philly Bob. What would I do with it? Well, I got the computer on a box full of them right now. Just inspire not to give up. Just not because of the mafia, not because of the life happens. Don't give up. And I talk about divine intervention, spiritual warfare, drugs, boom, 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 and everything else. But, this Hanfman is hanging with Sinner 3-3. Wow. So, Mikey, I got a different perspective on, okay. Yeah, the Colombos. Mickey was my godfather. Mickey C. Put the blue contacts in. Mickey Blue Eyes. He used to put the blue contacts in. And he used to say, Jojo, what are you looking at? I says, what are your eyes change color in the sun? He goes, no, I got blue contact lenses on. I thought, what? So Mickey was around back then and then the Gallows, the Gallows were doing their craziness and all that. And Persico, yeah, you guys all know the stories, So very interesting though. If I find a guy, if I'm at the casino or something and I see a guy that was in the mix with a family or something, interesting to talk about. Now I had to deliver the bread and milk. I was a delivery guy, and chauffeur these guys around to all their whatever. But it was very interesting, just human behavior, human psychology. In a subculture, you have society, then you have a subculture called the mafia, which they struggle with the same struggles and trials and tribulations as anybody else, but it's magnified and amplified. When you make a mistake there, it could be a death sentence. So, and if you're not a made guy now, hey, Mr. Tadaro, it's me. It's gonna be 62 in a couple of years. It's me. Thank you, Sal. Been a long road, but I'm alive and I'm blessed. So all is good. All is real good. God bless you and your family. God bless everybody in their family. We just like to have fun, you know. We just like to have fun. That's all. But everybody knows there's a pretty educated comment. The people in here, they know when you're around the mafia club and everything, and you're not a made guy, you can't talk to them like on the streets. Well, you're just my buddy. We go to the racetrack. I drive you to the racetrack, Tony. We and Rick, we go. So we're buddies. Forget about the mafia. Oh, but then if I say something wrong, like insulting or something, or it's like, oh, the repercussions. So what are you gonna do? Report me to Sam, who loves me, the boss, or what? How do we mix our friendship as just regular friends, and then how do you integrate the mafia rules? Yeah, Sal. Well, no, I'm barred. I'm barred for life from Batavia Downs because I did a video, I did a show about the shitty rooms over there, and they barred me for life from Batavia Downs, that scum joint. Democrat run garbage pail. So I'm barred for life from Batavia Downs. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. I can go to Vegas or Atlantic City and remain anonymous than being under a microscope in that dump they call Batavia Downs. So, yeah. Yeah. So, enough of that garbage pail place. Good to have you in here. So, I just do the channel. They've kicked me off of this channel. They censored me, freedom of speech, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to watch the channel. This Hanfman is hanging with Sinner, 4-3 first set. So I just try to peel the layers back of everything you've seen on TV, Mike Franzese, Sammy the Bull Gravano, and let me tell you something, folks. What Mike Franzese was speed ratting in front of Congress, right? So we already know he played both sides of the fence before he even speed ratted. And the dates that he claimed to be in prison are suspect, unless they cloned him. But I give him credit, Mike Franzese. I agree with his political beliefs. I mean, you got to be retarded to have liked Joe Biden and that perverted administration. So if a Democrat, you have to look at a Democrat as like, I just go for whatever seems common sense and logic. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, I just look for common sense and logic. But what they've done to the Democrat Party, which us Italians were all originally Democrats from our elders, you know. Mm. Nah, no. He's sketched so many stories. And he had that office downtown in New York, that office where they took the picture of him sitting in the office, and he's the golden boy of Sonny Franzese and all that. And then I don't even want to get into because there's no value to me insulting Mike. There's no value at this point in time in my channel. I don't care about subscribers. I don't care about causing conflict between these old rat bums. I don't care about all that. But believe 10% of what he told you about Sonny and everything else. I mean, he sold everybody out. And when he did the tax gap, I'll say this, Sal. I'll say this one last thing. When he did the gas tax scheme with the Russians and the other guys, we ain't gonna unpack that. But his mother God forgive me, because this is really trashy. This is really low down. God bless his mother. God rest her soul. She was in an apartment in Brooklyn, living with a friend. Uh-huh. Living with a friend. So you got Mike Franzese talking about this gas tax scheme after the fact, and all the millions and hundreds of millions of dollars that it made. But in the meantime, while all that was happening, how come his mother came out and said, which I showed the interview, she never saw a penny? She was on food stamps. Mike Francese's mother was on food stamps. So Mike Franzese is claiming to be this holier than thou Christian now. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. You know. And his mother had her tongue hanging out looking for a bologna sandwich down there in Brooklyn. So, I mean, it is what it is. The guy's a phony. Then he gets up there with Chaz Palminteri and they're selling wine and all this and that. They're bums. Um, well, then I knew somebody very, very close, Mikey, to them. My godfather lived next door. My father worked for them. He was an enforcer. My godfather worked for them, was an enforcer, rubbing elbows. He was bringing her groceries. Mike Franzese was deathly afraid. He wasn't the true shot caller in that family. There were other people behind the scenes. Mike Franzese was an accountant. Did you figure that out? He was an accountant. He was an accountant. The full story about his mother was taken care of, and you can personally attest to that. Well, when did that happen? When she was staying with her girlfriend in a one-bedroom apartment? Was that being taken care of? My godfather even approached Mike and said, "What's going on over there? She's depressed. The husband's." She was complaining to Sonny that Mike wasn't taking care of her, and Sonny wanted to smash Mike out. Did you hear about that one? Sonny wanted to smash Mike out. You don't see that on YouTube. You don't see that on YouTube. Sal Tadaro, Joe is right. Mike was a grifter, and what he did to his poor mother is unforgivable. Straight up and down. Straight up and down. And Mike, when the gas tax scheme was rocking and rolling, Mike had to pay everybody off just not to get hit. He had to pay everybody off just not to get hit. So my godfather's an enforcer for the Colombos. He knows about all this money, and you know he's chirping in his ear. Now, my godfather was an enforcer for the Colombos, but he was for hire for any family. He was fearless. He wasn't a made man. He was a freelancer. And he wasn't a made man. So they try to ambush, see, when these people think it's so easy, oh, there's an enforcer, so somebody could just go sneak on him. They just think, oh, you could sneak up on a guy and this and that. If you sneak up on him and miss, you're dead. You're dead. So I like Mike's political views, but you can learn a lot about a person in human behavior and human psychology. If you're confused about a person and you're not sure if you want to deal with somebody or not, a big tell And a big determinant of that person's behavior is what is the relationship with their mother? And you can learn a lot about a person. I knew he was a scrub even before I knew about what was going on. Yeah. They did a show, that old New York City news show. They did a show in New York City. Mafia Wives, that WOR or whatever, 9 or whatever it was in New York City years ago. They had all the mafia women on there. They had the mafia women on there, and they were talking and talking about all this and that. So the one lady says to Mike Francese's mother, "Yeah, well, why did you struggle so hard and everything else? And you were living with Barb or whatever, and why were you struggling like that so hard? Your son Mike had all the money and everything else. Didn't Sonny, who's in life doing prison, didn't he say anything about why you struggling?" She said, "I never saw a penny of the money. I never saw a penny of the money." I don't know Shapesky. I don't know Steve will do it personally, but he's my brother's neighbor. I remember Steve will do it and his family visiting my brother when I was visiting them in Florida when he was younger, but they're my brother's neighbor in Florida. So Steve will do it, went on to do the big pranks and all that. But the only relationship I know with them is that they're my brother's neighbors in Florida, and his family, you know. I can't light my smoke. My matches don't work and 2 lighters don't work. Oh, yeah, Steve will do it. It's a small world. Steve will do it. Good guy, very charitable guy, gave a lot away. Good-hearted guy. Steve will do it. Shout out, they'll never watch this, to Big Steve and Mary Beth. Good people. Good people. So when I go to Florida to visit them, I'd like to see Steve after all these years. They were neighbors, and my brother's got a big property equestrian center. Back then, he's still on the same property. It was an equestrian center, and they would come over, and she catered food. She was a caterer, great cook, and she would come over, and I met them. And the boys, there's another brother, Rocco, and there's a sister. And they were all young. Then the years go by, and all of a sudden he's got a YouTube channel, and he did good. Good for him. Very charitable guy. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, Mike Franzese was at Del Lago. I wish I would have been there. I saw Mike speak at Del Lago. The people paid VIP to meet him backstage. They called it what a hustle game that is. Let's have a sit down. Get your 500 out, and you can have a sit down with Mike Franzese. He's the furthest guy. The only sit down that he could have in that arena is talking about money and who he's got to pay off. That's it. Not to be the shot caller, enforcer, to call hits. You think he shot called hits? But that's what people like. He's got a right to hustle. And if they want to say, wow, I sat down with Mike Franzese, and if that makes people feel better, well, then that's fine. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's life. That's life. So, he's older now and everything, but, yeah. Steve will do it. He shouted me out on one of his live streams. I don't know. I was hoping he shouted me out on one of his live streams. I was trying to do that way back when, but I didn't want to bother him. I'm not a beggar, you know. I mean, it would be good and everything, but I know he's busy. He does his thing, you know. He does his thing. My brother sees them all the time down in Florida. They're neighbors, literally, they're neighbors. So if you knew that, Sal, you would have had your nephews pay him a visit, not a friendly visit either. You know, he's got brass cayunes to come back east. He's got Brett because if you know everybody's doing life in prison or everybody's died off. But God forbid, I don't want to promote violence or anything. But I mean, you come back east, go out to that La La Land, that shitbox state of California, in the middle of all those pervs and rainbowed out creeps and Governor Newsom. So you're a New Yorker. You're a New Yorker. You choose to reside out there in that shitbox state. At least go stay, you know, in the ritzy ditzy parts of Queens, you know. What is that? 99 out of 100 gangsters with that resume would live the rest of their years out in New York. And if you want to live bi-coastal, go out there and live, come back and live and enjoy. Enjoy the delicatessens in Brooklyn and Bensonhurst. Enjoy the old timers. Why? Because you're just known as a rat. People will get over it. Yeah. People will get over it. See the old timers that are in their 70s and 80s, have a coffee with them at the delicatessen. No, you're a scared little bitch and you got a fortress out in California, and then you just come back to Del Lago for a money grab. God bless you. You have a right to, but don't be a bum. How long do you want to show your wimpy characteristics? We ain't all dead or behind bars. The nerve of this little weasel to come back here with his girl grifting bullcrap. Yeah. I don't want to promote that, but you know, when he was speed ratting, if that video was still on my library here, when he was speed ratting in front of Congress, now he gave up 38 names from his family, 42 names behind the scenes in the record, in the proffers, in that, because they did the publicized Senate hearings, and then what goes on behind the scenes is a whole different story. So you think there'd be descendants, but there's not a young kid that is a son or a grandson of somebody that Mike ratted on that's going to want to be doing violence or anything. They're probably educated, going to school, and just want to live a normal life, even though they know this bum put their grandfather in prison, you know. So they told them the coast is clear. The mafia doesn't have a pulse anymore, and there's no crazies running around. So go sneak into Del Lago and do all that. Do like Dom Ciccelli did. Dom Ciccelli walked the streets and told everybody when he was going to New York City. Dom Ciccelli showed everybody he was going to live stream at this time, at this place in New York City. Dom Ciccelli wasn't afraid. Dom Ciccelli wasn't afraid. He went back to New York. He went back to New York. You know, Mike was an accountant. He was an accountant, and his job was to fix sports. The Colombos had one of the biggest gambling rings known to mankind. So if you could get leverage with Mike fixing everything, he would fix 2 crickets running up a wall. So if you could get leverage like that, you could get leverage between laying money off in the families, but that's a red flag because you would know something's up if somebody's betting huge amounts of money. So then you'd have to have a guy in Vegas to spread the money around all the casinos. So it didn't raise a red flag. And so they didn't realize this looks like a fixed game. So they were making a ton. I delivered the bread and milk. They were making a ton. He was an accountant and a sports fixer, which is a good asset. That's a great asset to a family, to a crime family. He made more money than all the families put together. So, yeah, what else we got going on here? I'm in an hour long. I appreciate everybody that come in here and stuff. Um, we got the tennis over here, and yeah, I have my certain views. Maybe I'm not the end all of knowledge on the mafia bullcrap game that they do because it's already a compromised fraternity. So you got to take things face value and still have a discerning eye to go, oh, what, uh, but that's just the nature of the beast. That's all. You know, mob genre on YouTube. You got all the rats up there talking all their bull crap. A hustle game. They have a right to hustle. People have a right to watch or not watch. That's fine. That's fine because they know there's so many suckers out there. They just know there's so many suckers, and anything mafia gets people's attention, and no doubt, no doubt, make money off of it. Anybody'd want to do that. And then we shouldn't care what they do in their personal life. Well, or if you're a rat, the mob viewers don't even care if they're rats or not. Sammy the Bull Gravano doesn't have any stories left. Dom Ciccelli don't have any stories left. Mike Franzese don't have any stories left. John Alight doesn't have any stories left. And the crazy man, Canadian families are a different animal. They still operate like it's in the 1990s. I'd probably give the Canadian families more credence because they got the international, the Canadians, and Toronto was the epicenter for the secret mafia that was coming in back in the day. International mafia and shipping and drugs and stolen cars and all that. The Black Hand Mafia going back to old school Sicily. Who's that crazy hothead that got a channel off? He's always fighting with Joey Merlino. Who's that hothead? I can't even think straight anymore. The kid there with the bald head. He was a rat too. He's the hothead of Mafia Tube. Anybody remember what the hell was his name? Man, he was playing both sides of the fence. I know the people in the Colombo family. They're playing both sides of the fence. I'm not going to speak a lot about one of the agents or all this and that. Whatever I said before, I said. Whatever I said before, I said. Whether it's true or not, believe what you want. It's all entertainment, okay? It's all entertainment. People don't even realize these prominent people that you see on MobTube. Some, it's never been revealed on Mafia Tube that how many of these prominent bosses and underbosses were on the federal payroll. You'll never see it. It hasn't been revealed. It doesn't need to be revealed. Just put two and two together. You could just assume that there must have been others out there that were playing both sides of the fence for decades. Decades. Yeah, I'll do that, Sal. I'll check into that and everything. Who was that nut that was always on soap opera with Joey Merlino? Who was that nut? I can't even think of his name, but it was all soap opera conflict. Joey Merlino is never Joy Merlino didn't rat, and they could say whatever controversial thing there is, but there are very, very wealthy men that are in their 70s and 80s from New York City and Philadelphia that were shaking in their boots when Joy Merlino got hauled in and he didn't rat. So they owe Joy Merlino. And they say, oh, Joy Merlino's broke down there in Florida and everything else. He's got millionaires that are in their 70s and 80s that will give him anything he wants. Well, he's a degenerate gambler and all that. They're all degenerate gamblers. Joy Merlino could get whatever he wants. You got the haters out there, like that guy. I can't even think of his name. That they were always having these soap opera YouTube wars, But that's what it is. It's to the point of creating conflict, get views, and make money on subscribers and whatever they're selling. Skinny Joey, yeah. And then I can't even think of the other guy he's always in a battle with, but a real hothead. A YouTube hothead, but yeah, the guy was dangerous in the streets. But it's all, what is it? They reached out to me for comment. Oh, Netflix is doing a special on Joey. Yeah. The other guy was doing a project with Netflix too. The bald-headed guy who's always aggravated and everything else. Man, I can't even think of his name. I can't think of his name, but oh well. That's that. If anybody ever wants to talk, because I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this, send $1 on Cash App with a phone number, and we can talk. Send $1 on Cash App, and we could talk and shoot the breeze or whatever. If people are interested in all that stuff, we could talk as old-timer friends, and that's it. If people are interested, whatever. But I ain't trying to make any money. Yes, money comes in handy with everything else. But other than that, if there's people that are interested on the Columbos or any of that kind of stuff that I'll never utter on here. But it's just old man talk. It's just old man talk about an interesting culture. That's all. Interesting culture. And being close to a serial killer, my godfather, serial killer, more or less, and how actually intelligent he was, and how in human behavior and human psychology, you talk to a guy, good looking, very smart, high IQ, and then he's got this alternate life, and he don't even blink an eye over violence and torture. He don't blink an eye. Just fascinated. Why did I get stuck with him? Well, it was a blessing that he spared me from getting hurt when I broke the rules. Thank you, God, for letting him be my godfather. But I don't want to be around, my life goals wasn't to be around mafia gangsters. I was highly educated and everything else, academically, collegiately speaking. So my life goal wasn't to have my godfather be an enforcer and then he would someday spare my life. It wasn't what I went to college for. So, yeah, I can't think of that guy's name, but oh well. Thank you for joining Cel Tadaro. And I was in school with your descent with your one of your family? And a Caserta, the last name Caserta. I was close to them, close. And the guy that's got the big pizza shop. We won't speak on any of that stuff. So that's that. Thank you, Mr. Tadaro, for keeping me company. Thank you, the New York Jets, Mikey Picaretto, Shapesky. Thanks for hanging out, Deb, Mr. Rockford, Muggsy and Mikey. Thank you, folks. Philly Bob, the New York Jets 15, Michael Condinas. So thank you, folks. If anybody wants to talk, just leave a phone number with $1 on Cash App. We could talk, whatever, shoot the breeze. I mean, I would do it for free, but you people don't want to put your phone number up here because then you're going to get cranks and all these haters and all that. You can't put your phone number up here because there's just wackos out there that'll just prank phone call you. So that's that. That's that. Anybody wants to talk about anything, everything on my channel is alleged and everything is for entertainment purposes only. So we'll leave it at that. God bless you all. Be the kings and queens of your world. Don't give up. Be good to yourself. Be good to the people around you. The mafia is the mafia. That's all that. You still got to live your regular life. You want to live a good quality of life. So keep your head together. Keep focused. Politics will make you crazy. The mafia will make you crazy. You got to live your life and bring yourself up and enjoy and laugh and have great relationships and love yourself and love others. All right, folks. Thank you. So the Cash App, the link is in there. If you want to talk, leave your phone number, donate $1, whatever the cheapest amount is, and we can call and shoot the breeze. Maybe have a cup of coffee sometime. That's what do? Smoke cigarettes and drink coffee. All right, folks. Thanks. God bless you all.